Bonjour everyone! Welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new. My name is Maria and we are talking about lichen sclerosus here. So we have two videos about do's and don'ts with lichen sclerosus, where I told you about things what you should do or shouldn't do based on my own experience and experiences of the people who shared with me with their routine with lichen sclerosus and with their do's and don'ts. This is the third video about this topic, probably not least, but still I would say that for now it is the last one. So what to do and not to do having lichen sclerosus, let's go. During your menstruation, do change pads regularly. Normally, especially if you have heavy periods, you have to change your pads every 2 hours. It doesn't mean that if you have a lesser heavy periods, you don't have to change pads at all. Of course, there are some pads, and I told you about some of them in my previous videos with my own routine with lichen sclerosus. So there are some pads that can give you insurance and confidence for no less than 8 hours, but this is an extreme situation. I mean, when you don't have access to the toilet, or when you can't use the toilet for some reason, then of course you can go ahead with these pads, but please avoid it in a normal situation. So even if you're out somewhere and you are afraid of using public toilet, consider investing into disposable toilet seats to be able to change your pads with comfort. Don't use tampons if you have lichen sclerosus at the entrance of your genitals. The thing with tampons is when you insert them, yes, they glide inside because you have this applicator and it's pretty much smooth, but when you take it out, it can cause real irritation. If you notice that using tampons is giving you more pain and more burning sensation, then stop using them at all. There is another one interesting advice from my subscriber Helen. She says that everyday underwear liner helps her, which means that she doesn't have burning or itching or whatever uncomfortable sensation. Why is it so interesting? Most of the doctors don't recommend you to use pads every day when you have lichen sclerosus, but as you can see, some of patients with lichen sclerosus only benefit from it. So if you found a perfect brand for you with soft cotton or so lining, consider trying to wear underwear lining every day. Next tip is about your underwear. Do change your underwear every day. If you change your underwear regularly, you don't give bacteria a chance to gather there. When your underwear is pretty much old, do not hesitate to throw it into the bin, because especially when having lichen sclerosus, you don't want to wear a very old pair of underwear. It can really cause you more irritation because with age, any piece of clothes gathers some bacteria and not pretty stuff that doesn't wash out. Do not wear a super tight underwear because it creates an excessive rubbing and sweating. You have to avoid thongs and strings underwear for the same reason. If you're having difficulties while wearing your underwear, consider trying to sleep without underwear. Yes, that sounds a bit too much, too modern, but still, it's an option, especially if you started noticing that you're feeling better when your skin touches the pad but not the underwear itself. Do not forget about using hot water while washing your genital area. Your skin is already sensitive and brittle there, and you definitely don't want to get a burn. Think about investing into hypoallergenic washing detergent because it can really help you alleviate your symptoms. Do not buy intimate product from an unreliable seller. That goes to the medicines as well. If you get a fake product, it can actually bring some detriment to your overall health. Only buy intimate products and medicines from big companies and registered pharmacies. Do keep a watch at your diet because some foods and drinks can cause you inflammation. I'm serious. For example, for me, it's tomatoes. So if you have a reaction down there at some sour products or maybe at some soda or whatever, try to exclude them from your diet. Please do not use the excessive amount of creams and ointments which doctor prescribed you. Of course, if we're talking about steroids, it can cause you irritation. If we're talking about tacrolimus, you will just run off this ointment pretty much quickly. You don't need this huge amount of any ointment. The thinner the layer, the better penetration of the ointment or cream is. Do not use steroids for a very long period of time. Take some breaks, and please Google steroids withdrawal effects. And also, there is such thing as addiction to steroids. Please Google it. Some people report that steroid creams is the only remedy that actually helps them with lichen sclerosis. I can understand it, although most of people who write me and myself won't agree with that because steroids give us burns. It's a standard situation when 40% of people use steroids and they're okay with that, and then another 60% use steroids and get some burns. If steroids are good for you, do not overuse them and do not use them longer than your doctor prescribes you. Never ever proceed treatment when it gets worse. Listen, the thing is, your body talks to you, and if you feel more burning sensation after using this cream for, let's say, 3 or 4 days, it means that you have to stop the treatment. There are some creams like tacrolimus which will cause you burning sensation for the first 3 days of using, but if you keep having this awful pain that you even can't rinse your vulva with water, then please consider another type of therapy and go to your doctor. As you know, lichen sclerosis can get to other parts of your body, so how to keep lichen sclerosis only within your vaginal or genital area? If you feel a constant itch somewhere on your body, so for example for me it was the pelvis bone, use moisturizing cream or cream against eczema or hydrocortisone, whatever is good for you. Other areas, not vulva, they have a thicker skin and you don't have to be afraid to use a small amount of corticosteroids just to alleviate itching. But once again, don't forget, you don't use corticosteroids for more than 7 days. In some cases with eczema, it can be protracted until 14 days or something like that, but this is it. And last but not least, don't waste your time for therapists when you're really in pain. Some doctors that can't help you with their treatments and who worsened your situation or didn't bring you any good can tell you, well, listen, I can't help you, you should see a therapist, probably it's all in your head. No, darlings, it's not in your head. Unfortunately, lichen sclerosis is a skin disease which is not sexually transmitted, which is not transmitted from your head. This is an autoimmune skin disease that should be treated. If you waste your time going to some psychotherapists, other specialists who won't apply anything on your skin directly, you won't get relief. And by the way, I don't know how is it in your country, but for example in Russia and in every post-Soviet era country, they have these healers in villages, if you know what I mean. Please don't waste your time going to them as well, because you need a sophisticated treatment for lichen sclerosis. In other words, all that modern medicine and modern cosmetology can provide you with. If you believe that, okay, I won't question that, but still, just get this warning from me. That will be all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and hit the bell button to get a notification every time I post my videos here. Stay healthy and see you in the next episode. Goodbye.